is very unique because it's a combination of my own weight loss story, but also based on my professional background as a management consultant and CPA. So I have the ability to think outside the box and look from 10,000 feet up, but also to drill right down into the details. And because of my own experience losing weight, I also understand the emotional and psychological battles that a person has to go through. If you're new here, please consider giving this video a like, and let's get into today's video about the S.A.C triangle. The premise of the S.A.C triangle is based on the concept of defaults. Well, what are defaults? A default is basically a biological instinct. It is how the human brain is conditioned to think and act. There are 3 defaults that you are going against when you are trying to lose weight, and these are the 3 defaults that may stop people from losing weight successfully. After I explain each default, I will also go over some tips, techniques, and even affirmations to help you overcome these defaults. The S stands for the social default, which means that as humans, we do not want to say no to other people. We want to say yes to other people. We want to fit in and to conform and be just like everyone else. This is why people can stick to healthy eating when they're on their own and doing their own thing during the week, but when they are out with other people in social situations or social gatherings, that's when they tend to falter. This is not a willpower problem. This is just a social default. So if you have a hard time saying no to people, if they offer you a cookie, or if you find yourself, wanting to be polite or having the urge to be polite to eat someone else's food when you're at someone else's house or you're eating with other people, or you go to an event and you see that everyone's drinking, hey, why don't I have a drink too because everyone's drinking? These are examples of succumbing to your own social default. And the degree to which people have a need for a social default will vary, especially if you've always had a people pleaser personality and you want everyone around you to be happy. There's nothing wrong with that, but if you want other people to be happy and you're always pleasing other people at the expense of your own happiness, that's when it becomes a problem. The degree to which you need to fulfill your social default also depends on where you lie on the introversion, extroversion spectrum. So some people may need it more than others if you're more extroverted. So how do you overcome the social default? The first is to tell yourself that it's okay if you have to say no to people sometimes. And if you find yourself saying no to people all the time or saying no constantly to the same person all the time, and it's starting to eat at you emotionally or make you feel uncomfortable, then that's a sign that you might be outgrowing these people, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. The next tip is to make sure that you just be careful of who you big mouth your goals to in life. If you're at a place where you need to have a network and a support group, then you can find support groups, meetup groups, Facebook groups. Just find a group of like-minded people that share the same challenges as you. You also want to find your own mentors, and this goes for any area of your life: health, wealth, relationships, school, whatever it is, right? In any situation when you're looking to learn or be better in an area, the most effective outcome is to learn from people who have what you want and work with them directly. However, if you're not at a place financially where you can work with someone directly to help you, then I encourage you to read books, listen to podcasts, listen to talking head people on the internet, such as myself. And once you've gathered enough mentors in your life or people that you know you want to listen to, then you want to assemble your own board of directors for your life. These are people that you look up to and whose opinions that you respect. And ask yourself, what would this person think if I did this action? If I ate a cookie in front of this person, what would this person think? If I decided to skip the gym, what would they think? If I decided to not show up for myself, what would they think? What would they say back to me? How would they respond to that situation? You always want to be working on yourself and to develop your own internal strength and self-confidence. Because I believe that the outcome of your life does start with self-love and self-respect. Self-love and self-respect is not voodoo, it's a basic human right. And it also impacts your ability to show up for yourself in fitness and in health. It impacts your ability to attract the right partner in your life. It impacts your ability to pick and be happy with the right career, job, or business. And overall, that self-love and self-respect allows you to make decisions that are congruent to who you are. Self-love and self-respect, it's all about finding that right balance, right? We're not trying to be overly voodoo where it's like, love yourself no matter what, or like overly egotistical where you're like, I am the hot It's more just about finding that right balance that allows you to be confident in yourself, who you are, the decisions that you make, and allow you to overcome the social default and the need to kind of fit in or conform all the time. So you know that it's okay if you say no to a piece of birthday cake when you're out with people. It's okay if you're the only one that's not drinking and everyone else is. There's nothing wrong with that, because when you say no to other people, it comes from a place of self-respect and self-confidence. If you're interested in losing weight and working one-on-one with me, I will leave a booking link down in the description below for you to check out. There are also a ton of free resources that we've created for people to lose weight on keto and carnivore diets, so check out the description link below. The next default is the accessibility default. We want things fast. We want things at speed. We want things immediately. Any perceived delay between action and outcome is deeply painful to us. And part of this is natural default, but part of this is also fueled by the society that we live in nowadays. It's only natural to want things right away. Some people call this the need for instant gratification. I mean, nowadays with digital technology, globalization, Teams and Slack messages, and our phones, notifications, it's just a non-stop spike to your dopamine levels. This is not a willpower problem, it's more just a point of self-awareness. So some tips if you struggle with the accessibility default. The first is to try to engage in as many non-dopamine related activities as possible. Do them often and train yourself to do them more often. If you struggle with always needing to get results fast, quick results, it has to be now, that you cannot wait, everything is on a timeline. Sometimes having a deadline-free mentality can be very liberating. Not for everyone, some people do need deadlines to get them motivated and to get them going, but it also depends on your personality. This could also be an environmental thing as well when it comes to accessibility. If the food that you are not supposed to eat is always within your reach, then what do you think is the likelihood of you not eating it, compared to if it just wasn't there in the first place? You only have a finite amount of willpower to use every day, and a lot of the times that willpower is being used for other things. Do you really have to use willpower to resist when it comes to food decisions if you can just not have the food there in the first place? If the accessibility default is something that you struggle with, then I highly recommend setting goals based on actions and things you can control rather than what you can't control. Set goals based on tasks, not outcomes. Only focus on things that you can put onto a to-do list and actually check off. That's when you know you have control versus not having control. A lot of people think that they can control the number on the scale, but the number on a scale is actually an outcome. How do you know this? It's because you cannot put the number on the scale onto a to-do list where you check off. The number on a scale is just an outcome of the things that you check off on your to-do list every day. So being process-oriented and task-oriented is very helpful if you are always someone that is very focused on the outcome and you need to have it right away. Because checking things off on a checklist will give you that sense of fulfillment. There are a couple ways you can train yourself out of a need for instant gratification and dopamine spikes. The first one, if you're an emotional eater, is huge, is to redirect that source of emotion to another activity that gives you dopamine and triggers the reward centers in your brain. If food is what makes you happy, then you want to actively work on finding happiness in other things in life. Meditation also helps with instant gratification because it makes you a less reactive person overall. And if you want, one tip I have with the social media is to actually download the apps that block out the social media or prevent you using it from certain hours of the day. The third default is the comfort default. The comfort default means that we don't want to do anything that makes us feel uncomfortable. And everyone's comfort zone is a little different. I think the goal in life is to expand your comfort zone and keep expanding it. What you don't want to do is overexpand your comfort zone, because that's when cortisol goes up and that's when you hang on to body fat. So don't do that, because that hurts your weight loss results. But challenge yourself to go to the edges of your comfort zone regularly, whether that's going to the gym, trying a new routine, exercising more self-control around food decisions, whatever it is. Sometimes people tend to boredom eat or eat just because there's nothing else to do. This is also a form of the comfort default. A lot of times with the comfort default, the problem isn't willpower, it's more that you may have a fixed mindset. If you feel like this is the case for you, then you can read more books, watch more self-development videos, upgrade your mindset, find people that are like-minded and connect with them, find people that are a little bit ahead of you of what you want and learn and grow from them. The 75 Hard Challenge is great for people who struggle with the comfort default. I think the goal is to slowly train yourself to be a little bit more uncomfortable every day and realize that everything's still gonna be okay. Remember that you're not gonna die if you're a little bit uncomfortable. You will die of regret though, if you stay comfortable and you don't do anything about the situation that you're trying to fix. So keep training yourself to be a little bit uncomfortable every day. This helps you develop self-control And my most favorite affirmation for the comfort default is I can do hard things. This is one that I still write down in my journal every day. If you like this video today, I think you will like another video of mine, which are my top tips on how to boost your metabolism if you are trying to lose weight. So do check out that video up top here. Let me know down in the comments below which default that you may struggle with when it comes to weight loss, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until next time.